சகோதரர்களுக்கு உயிர் கரைந்து கண்ட தெரிவிக்கொள்கின்றேன். காலம் சேர்ந்த திரு சுப்பிரமணிய பிள்ளை அவர்கள் அவர் ஆத்மாவும் நட்கரையும் மகாசாந்தியும் பிரியசாந்தியும் யோகசாந்தி. இப்பொழுது தாரை ஆரம்பிப்போம்.
முன் அறிந்த தெய்வம் ஆழன தோழுவது சால உணர்ந்து உலகலாம் பெற்ற தாய் தந்தை மக மறந்தாலும் பிள்ளையே பெருந்தால் மறந்தாலும் உற்ற தேகத்தை உயர் மறந்தாலும் நத்தவத்து வரவுள் இருந்த ஓங்கம் நமச்சிவாயத்தை நான் மறவேனே. ஓம் சிவபெருமானே கதவை திறப்பாய. ஓம் திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். யாவருக்கும் நன்றி, வணக்கம், அம்மனுக்கு. தேங்க்யூ லேடிஸ் அண்ட் ஜென்டில்மென். யூ மே பி சீட்டட். Dear family and friends, my humble vanakkams and loving greetings to one and all of you this morning. The Pillay family extends the sincere thanks, appreciation, and gratitude to one and all of you for making your presence here this morning, and to all who have helped in any little way during the course of this bereavement. May Mother Saraswati grant each one of you and your families health, wealth, knowledge, and prosperity. We've gathered here this morning to pay tribute and bid farewell to our dear father, Thiru Subramani Pillay. We pray to Lord Shivapraman to grant moksham to this divine soul and to give this bereaved family strength and courage during this time. Dear family and friends, In Hinduism, we have a very sacred symbolism, which is the Kamachivalaka, which is the lamp that you see in front of you. Together, on either side, we have the Kottu Vilaka, very sacred. So when you are offering, there's an humble request to each and every one of you. When you are coming forward to offer your Malar Achane to our dear Father, we humbly ask each and every one of you to please remove your shoe, and you may enter the shrine, and you may offer your flower, the petals for our dear Father. You may come forward and offer your Malar Achane while we will be singing sacred bhajans and thevarums and devotional song for our dear Father. Sound one, two. Gajananam Bhudaganadam Sevita Kapita Jambo Palashara Bhakshiram Umasudam Sokavinashakaranam Namami Vikneshwaram Padabangajam இன்ப விநாயகனே இன்ப விநாயகனே எழல் மலர் பாதம் பணிந்தேனே இன்ப விநாயகனே எழல் மலர் பாதம் பணிந்தேனே இன்ப விநாயகனே அன்பவர் சோடைகள் அமர்ந்திடம் அரசே அன்பவர் சோடைகள் அமர்ந்திடம் அரசே அன்பவர் சோடைகள் அமர்ந்திடம் அரசே அன்பவர் சோடைகள் அமர்ந்திடம் அரசே ஆதாரம் நீயே ஆதருள்வாயே ஆதாரம் நீயே ஆதருள்வாயே இன்ப விநாயகனே எழல் மலர் பாதம் பணிந்தேனே இன்ப விநாயகனே தினமும் உணரல் புகழ் நினந்தினல் வேண்டும் 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 நினக்கும் சொல்வன்றும் ஆலயம் விதியே நினக்கும் சொல்வன்றும் ஆலயம் விதியே இன்ப விநாயகனே எழல் மலர் பாதம் பணிந்தனே இன்பவீனான் ஏகனே. Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. மந்திரமாவது நீரே, வானவர் மேலது நீரே. மந்திரமாவது நீரே, வானவர் மேலது நீரே. சுந்தரமாவது நீரே, சுந்தரமாவது நீரே. துதிக்கப்பது நீரே, தந்திரமாவது நீரே. சமயத்தில் உள்ளது நீரே, தந்திரமாவது நீரே. சமயத்தில் உள்ளது நீரே. செந்துவழ்வார் உமை பங்கள் தீரு, ஆலகவையான் திரு நீட்டே. ஆற்றல் அடல் வீடேறும் பறவையான் திருநீரே. ஆற்றல் அடல் வீடேறும் பறவையான் திருநீரே. போற்று முகரினிலாவும் பூசூர் ஞான சம்பந்தன். ஊடல் ஊற்ற தீப்பிரியா இனத்தீ ஊடல் ஊற்ற தீப்பிரியா இனத்தீர. சாற்றிய பாடல் பகட்டும், சாற்றிய பாடல் பகட்டும். வல்லவனல் ஆமே. சொற்றுண்டை வேதியன் சோதிவானவள் போற்றுண்டை தீரந்தடி போரந்த கை தொட. சொற்றுண்டை வேதியன் சோதிவானவள் போற்றுண்டை தீரந்தடி போரந்த கை தொட. கட்டுடை பூட்டினோ கடலில் பாட்டினோ நாட்டுடை ஆய்வது நாம சிவாயவே. நாட்டுடை ஆய்வது நாம சிவாயவே. இல்லகன விளக்குது இருள் கெடுப்பது சொல்லகம் விலக்குது சோதி உள்ளது பல்லக விலக்குது பலருள் காண்பது நல்லக விலக்குது நாம சிவாயவே நல்லக விலக்குது நாம சிவாயவே மாப்பினை தழுவிய மாதோர் பாகத்தில் கோப்பினை தீர்ந்தடி போருள் கையை தோழ நாப்பினை தருவிய நாம சிவாய பட்டு ஏத்தவலா தமக்கு தீருள் கண்ணில்லையே ஏத்தவலா தமக்கு தீருள் கண்ணில்லையே துணை வேதியில் ஜெயமா ஜெயமா ஜெகதீஸ்வரி ஜெயமா 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 ஜெகதீஸ்வரி ஜெயமா சுந்தரி மகேஸ்வரி சாயேஸ்வரி ஜெயமா சுந்தரி மகேஸ்வரி சாயேஸ்வரி ஜெயமா 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 ஜெகதீஸ்வரி ஜெயமா 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 ஜெகதீஸ்வரி ஜெயமா ஜெகதீஸ்வரி மகேஸ்வரி சாயி ஜெயமா ஜெகதீஸ்வரி மகேஸ்வரி சாயேஸ்வரி ஜெயமா ஜெகதீஸ்வரி மகேஸ்வரி சாயேஸ்வரி ஜெயமா ஜெயமா ஜெகதீஸ்வரி ஜெயமா ஜெயமா ஜெகதீஸ்வரி ஜெயமா சுந்தரி மகேஸ்வரி சாயேஸ்வரி ஜெயமா சுந்தரி மகேஸ்வரி சாயேஸ்வரி ஜெயமா 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 ஜெகதீஸ்வரி ஜெயமா 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 ஜெகதீஸ்வரி ஜெயமா ஜெகதீஸ்வரி மகேஸ்வரி சாயேஸ்வரி ஜெகதீஸ்வரி மகேஸ்வரி சாயேஸ்வரி ஜெயமா ஜெயமா ஜெகதீஸ்வரி கணமேனு பாராயண் தெய்வமே கண்ணார கணுதா போதுமே முருகா முருக முருக முருகா கந்த முருக வருவாயே சாந்தி பிரிவே அருள்வாயே கந்த முருக வருவாயே சாந்தி பிரிவே அருள்வாயே கணவல்லவர்கள் சொல்வாயே கடிதேர ஒரு பாடு அருள்வாயே முருகா கணவல்லவர்கள் கடிதேர ஒரு பாடு அருள்வாயே கந்தா முருக வருவாயே சாந்தி பிரிவே அருள்வாயே கந்தா முருக வருவாயே முருகா 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 கணமேனு வாராயன் தெய்வமே கண்ணார கந்தா போதுமே கணமேனு வாராயன் தெய்வமே கண்ணார கந்தா போதுமே துணையாக வருவாய் எனதான உயிரே நீ சொன்னபடியே நானாடுவேன் துணையாக வருவாய் எனதான உயிரே நீ சொன்னபடியே நானாடுவேன் நீ சொன்னபடி நானாடுவேன் நீ சொன்னபடி நானாடுவேன் கந்தா முருக வருவாயே சாந்தி பிரிவே அருள்வாயே கந்தா முருக வருவாயே முருக 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 இருந்தல் மனமுனை தேடுதே உந்தன் எழிலை பாடுதே இருந்தல் மனமுனை நாடுதே உந்தன் எழிலை பாடுதே எனதாய் வந்தல் உனதாய் வாழ்வே நீ சொன்னபடியே நானாடுவேன் எனதாய் வந்த உனதாய் வாழ்வே சொன்னபடியே நானாடுவேன் முருகாரி சொன்னபடி நானாடுவேன் சொன்னபடி நானாடுவேன் கந்தா முருக வருவாயே சாந்தி பிரிவே அருள்வாயே கந்தா முருக வருவாயே சாந்தி பிரிவே அருள்வாயே சாந்தி பிரிவே அருள்வாயே சாந்தி முருகா. गिरिधर गोविंद गोपाल भजो मुरली मनोहर नंदलाल नंदलाल नारायण हरि गोविंद गोपाल गोपाल देवाय श्री राम देवाय नंदलाल गोपाल गोविंद हरि नारायण नारायण गिरिधर गोविंद गोपाल भजो मुरली मनोहर नंदलाला गिरिधर गोविंद गोपाल भजो मुरली मनोहर नंदलाला सुरमुनि वरदन गोपाल 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 सुरमुनि वरदन पूजित बाला सुरमुनि वरदन पूजित बाला नित्यानंदन मोगल मुरारी नित्यानंदन मोगल मुरारी गिरिधर गोविंद गोपाल भजो मुरली मनोहर नंदलाला गिरिधर गोविंद गोपाल भजो मुरली मनोहर नंदलाला भक्त वशल भवभय बिंदला भक्त वशल भवभय बिंदला पाप विमोचन परमानंदा पाप विमोचन परमानंदा गवरई शरण संगसन वदन गवरई शरण संगसन वदन गोपाल नामो नारायण हरे गोपाल नामो नारायण गिरिधर गोविंद गोपाल भजो मुरली मनोहर नंदलाला गिरिधर गोविंद गोपाल भजो मुरली मनोहर नंदलाला नंदलाला प्रेमवादनी ध्यानवादनी धर्मवादनी ध्यानवादनी प्रशांति शिरसुखदामिनी प्रशांति शिरसुखदामिनी जय जय वीरनी मां जय जय वीरनी मां जननी मां साई जननी 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 मां प्रेमवादनी ज्ञानवादनी धर्मवादनी ज्ञानवादनी प्रशांति साई शिरसुखदामिनी प्रशांति साई शिरसुखदामिनी जय जय वीरनी मां जय जय वीरनी मां जननी मां साई जननी मां जननी मां साई जननी मां जननी मां साई जननी जननी मां साई जननी मां जननी मां साई जननी मां जननी मां साई जननी मां प्रेमवादनी ज्ञानवादनी धर्मवादनी ज्ञानवादनी प्रशांति साई शिरसुखदामिनी प्रशांति साई शिरसुखदामिनी जय जय वीरनी मां जय जय वीरनी मां जननी मां साई जननी मां जननी मां साई जननी मां साई जननी मां साई जननी मां शिवाय नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय नमः சிவாய நமோ சிவாய நமோ சிவாய நமோ திருவண்ணாமலையா திருசுட மோனையா திருவண்ணாமலையா திருசுட மோனையா தீரனும் வீரனும் பணியும் தேவாயா தீரனும் வீரனும் பணியும் தேவாயா லிங்கேஸ்வராய பக்தசகாய லிங்கேஸ்வராய பக்தசகாய அருட்பெரும் ஜோதி நம சிவாய அருட்பெரும் ஜோதி நம சிவாய சிவாய நமோ சிவாய நமோ சிவாய நமோ சிவாய நமோ பார்க்கடல் விஷத்தே யோக மகாதேவ பார்க்கடல் விஷத்தே யோக மகாதேவ பொங்கையை கங்கையை மூடி மேலணிந்தவ பொங்கையை கங்கையை மூடி மேலணிந்தவ பிடிக்கு மண் சுமந்து திரும்படி பட்டவ பிடிக்கு மண் சுமந்து திரும்படி பட்டவ பெண்ணும் நீ ஆணும் நீ தேவ சிவாய பெண்ணும் நீ ஆணும் நீ தேவ சிவாய சிவாய நமோ சிவாய நமோ சிவாய நமோ சிவாய நமோ ஆண்டவனே அம்பூவியார அம்பே தனக்கு பொன் கதவை திறப்பய அணைப்பதும் அணைவதும் கையலல்லவா அணைத்திட வேண்டும் அம்பலத்தாண்டவா அணைப்பதும் அணைவதும் கையலல்லவா அணைத்திட வேண்டும் அம்பலத்தாண்டவா ஆண்டவனே அம்பை தனக்கு பொன் கதவை திறப்பாய ஆயிரம் ஆயிரம் தீரேதாளும் மாவரே ஒரு தருணவே ஆயிரம் ஆயிரம் தீரேதாளும் மாவரே ஒரு தருணவே ஆண்டவனே அம்புவியாரா நம்மை கணக்கு பொன் கதவை திறப்பாய அம்பை கணக்கு பொன் கதவை திறப்பாய
the officiating priest, dear family and friends, ladies and gentlemen, and members of our bereaved family, Nalan, Shrimala, Preetha, Zaid, Charlotte, Hilal, Shagan, Kivoli, and little Amira, the task and indeed the duty that I have to perform today to preside over this farewell and tribute to and to celebrate the celebration of a truly remarkable member of our family is not an easy one. It is extremely painful and difficult to say farewell to a man whom we have always thought of as being so strong, as being larger than life and resilient in the face of all life's challenges. We are here to bid farewell to pay tribute to, and to celebrate the life of a husband, a father, a grandfather, a great-grandfather, a consummate and talented journalist and photographer, an immensely successful business person, a creative and resourceful and innovative trailblazer all his life, a self-made and versatile human being who excelled in every endeavor and overcame every challenge and every obstacle that came his way, no matter how daunting. To all of you seated in this hall this morning, my uncle Shan Pillay was an extremely talented individual who has left an immeasurable and formidable legacy and who has played multifaceted and instrumental roles in the lives of individuals and institutions that he came into contact with. Indeed, the most frequent response to his passing 2 days ago was that Uncle Shan was a legend and that he's left a rich legacy in so many ways. Ladies and gentlemen, members of family, I have no doubt that the messages and the tributes that you will hear today will illustrate the appropriateness of using words such as legendary and legacy to describe and to illustrate his stature as an extraordinary human being. All of us had nothing but admiration and love for him. Dear ladies and gentlemen, it's with mixed feelings that I address you today. The fact and the reality of death is never easy to countenance, and the deep sense of loss that the family is experiencing at the passing away of our beloved Uncle Shan is a reminder to us of our own mortality and vulnerability, even as we are reminded of the preciousness and the value of life. Dear friends, and we all went through this journey together, dear family, it was sad that Uncle Shan was afflicted by this debilitating illness during the last few weeks of his life. It was painful for all of us to see him in this hospital bed during this time. But I can say with certainty that these images of him in his hospital bed will not be the ones we will remember as we go forward. Imprinted in our minds will be memories of one who was vibrant and dynamic in his time, one who blazed new trails from the early years of his very accomplished and remarkable life, one who always welcomed and embraced fresh challenges and opportunities and experiences, and one who was amazingly resilient and determined and passionate. Indeed, his motto was Carpe Diem, which translated means seize the day, embrace life, live life to the fullest. All of you know Uncle Shan will know that this is precisely how he lived his life to the fullest, with no regrets. When he met people, he would say, "Do you know I'm 88 years old?" And he would say it as a badge of achievement that he so richly deserved. In fact, I don't know of any younger 88-year-old than Uncle Shan. He was such an inspiration to us. And everybody that one speaks to is unanimous that his most striking qualities, he took pride in working hard right to the end, and Nalan will bear testimony to that as well. And the success and the accolades that he achieved are testimony to his commitment and his dedication to doing things properly, to always going the extra mile and to being a perfectionist. This is why he earned the respect, the loyalty, the regard, and indeed the love of all those whose lives he touched in so many ways. He had the rare ability to connect with and to establish rapport with people, no matter their backgrounds or their ages, from the smallest child to the most respected elder. Perhaps that is one of the reasons why he's so loved by his grandchildren and his great grandchild, recent addition to the family. And he, in turn, had an abundant love for all of them. In fact, he doted on them. And to Shagan, to Givoli, to Zaid, to Hilal, to Akil, and to little Amira, your papa, as you so lovingly called him, will always live on in your hearts and your minds, because he carried all of you in his heart, and he treasured you. You were most precious to him. And I know each of you in your own way will value and treasure the special, unique role that he played in each of your lives. And that's why, dear friends, it's entirely fitting that we commence with messages from three of his beloved great-grandchildren. And firstly, I want to call upon, grandchildren, my apologies. I want to call upon firstly Zaid, who will pay a brief tribute to his papa.
Hi everyone, my name is Shan Pillay. I'm the grandson of Shan Pillay. I called him Papa. We're here today with profound sorrow to remember and honor Papa, my beloved grandfather, who left us on Tuesday, 28 May 2024 at 10 past 10 in the morning. As I stand in front of everyone today, I'm filled with a deep sense of loss in my heart, but also an immense gratitude for the incredible man Papa was, and the indelible mark he left on my life, my brother Hilal's life, and my family's life. Over the past year, I found myself really thinking about and appreciating the hard life that Papa had in his early years. My Papa was a man of extraordinary character and remarkable achievements. In hindsight, I don't think I could hold a candle to him in that regard. Rising from poverty and considering what a hard path he had growing up in life is a testament to his intelligence, his perseverance, and his hard work. All which he did his best to instill in me and my brother Hilal. His story showed me that with the right mindset and determination, any single thing in life is possible. And I stand here today believing that. But he was not just a successful man in terms of material possession, but more importantly to me, rich in wisdom, generosity, and unconditional love. He was my backbone. From a young age, he took me under his wing and raised me as his own. He gave me everything I could ever ask for, not only in terms of material wealth, but more importantly, life lessons and values. The only lessons and values I think you could obtain by going through the hardship he went through. Again, and thinking in hindsight, he was strict and hard with me because he wanted me to become the person I am today. He put me through my schooling and studies and paved the way for me, ensuring that I had every single opportunity in life to succeed. The only reason I stand here today in my position is because of his unwavering, wholehearted, and unconditional support for me. When I was about 7 years old, my papa would wake me up as early as 4:30 in the morning, and we would go fishing together. These trips in hindsight were more than just fishing expeditions. I came to realize that there were moments of bonding, learning, and growing. They became a cherished tradition, and in more recent years, a time for the family to connect and share their lives together. My papa taught me many things. He taught me how to carry myself, and he taught me how to carry myself with dignity and respect, imparting valuable life skills that have shaped me into the man I am today. In hindsight, I realize actually how much effort he put into this and how perhaps sometimes I took it for granted. Nevertheless, his intelligence and his wisdom were guiding lights in my life, helping me navigate through all the difficult challenges I had in life and helping me seize every opportunity. In the back of my mind, I always knew that I had his unwavering support, which gave me the confidence to do whatever I wanted to do and to excel in life. Today, as we bid him farewell, I'm reminded of the countless memories, the lessons that he taught me, and the profound impact that he had on my life. His legacy is one of resilience, generosity, and wholehearted unconditional love to me and my family. He showed me the importance of hard work, integrity, and the power of believing in myself. His spirit will continue to guide me every day. In passing, we lose a grandfather, a mentor, a friend, my best friend. He spoke to me every day. Anything I did, he would be the first person I shared it. But his legacy will live on in the lives of the people that he touched, as well as in the principles that he imparted to me and my family. He will be remembered for his remarkable journey, his kindness, and the love he shared with all of us. Papa, thank you for everything you've done for me and the family. Your love, your wisdom, your guidance, and your support made me the man that I am today. Not even in 100 lifetimes will I ever be able to repay you. I will carry your lessons with me and strive to honor your memory in all that I do. That is my promise to you. May you rest in peace, Papa. I love you.
Thank you so much, Zaid, and God bless you. I know Papa would be rightly proud of you and his other grandchildren as well. And on that note, I call upon Zaid's brother Hilal, who will also say a few words about his Papa.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for coming to celebrate the life of our beloved Papa. I usually speak on behalf of everyone, but this time round, I'm lost for words. Everyone knows my grandfather was everything to me. He was my mother, my father, my best friend, and my life advisor. Growing up, he made sure I always did whatever I wanted to do, and I put the emphasis on I. Any sport I wanted to try out, he was always supportive. I got the best equipment, and at his old age, he would drop me off and pick me up from practice for cricket, soccer, volleyball, and table tennis. He really ran around a lot for me. Later on in life, when I would go on sport tours, he always made sure I had enough pocket money to enjoy myself and have a bit of a holiday as well. I was short of nothing. Everything I wanted to do, I was supported in every aspect. I always wanted to become a chartered accountant, but I never really had a passion for it. When I started honors and didn't enjoy it, that's when I saw how supportive my grandfather was. I told him I would make the switch to banking, and his response was, "As long as you're happy and you've thought about it, I am happy." It was plain and simple, nothing else. Now that I think about it, that's what my papa was and what he stood for. Being plain, simple, and practical. Having these ideologies allowed him to rub shoulders with some of the most famous people in the world. He always told me being a good person and helping whenever you are able to is the most important part of life. He said, "Don't worry about what others think, as long as you have good intentions and you are happy." These teachings have made me the person that I am today, and I hope I'll make him proud as the years go by. My grandfather was incredibly smart and hardworking. He never finished school, but was able to start a successful shoe factory. And he wrote thousands of published articles and journals, all with perfect English and grammar. I could go on and on about speaking about his achievements and accolades, but what stands out the most for me is the love he had for his family. He loved telling us stories about Moonpa, Deccan Road Uncle, and Uncle Dilly. He loved speaking about my grandmother, her sisters, and Uncle Rajagopal. He adored all of my cousins and made sure he would see Akil in Kashmir whenever he could. And I'm so glad he got to spend so much time with baby Amira, because I know there's nothing else he wanted more. To move away from home and leave Papa was one of the hardest things I ever had to do. He gave me all the support I needed and made sure I had everything that I needed to survive, even buying me 2 air fryers. Up until his last days, he would call me every day without fail to make sure I ate, I got home safe from work, and that I wasn't homesick. He would fight with me if I never sent him a message explaining why I couldn't answer his call before 6 p.m. I have one last message to give you, Papa. It was the one thing that you were always worried about, and this is what I have to say. Zaid, Akil, and I are okay. We are happy, blessed, and filled with love and joy because of you, Nalan and Shrubala. We will never forget what you did for us. And Zaid might be in Cape Town, Akil might be in Kashmir, and I might be in Johannesburg, but our hearts will always be with you. Rest in peace, Papa. I love you now and forever. Om Namah Shivaya.
So proud of you, son, as always. And finally, from the grandchildren, I would like to call upon the ever-caring and loving Kivoli, who would like to say or think she has a special place in her papa's heart. Come.
Good morning, everyone. Today we gather to honor the extraordinary life of my beloved grandfather. Trying to encapsulate the depth of gratitude I feel for Papa from everything, from the essence of his character to the profound impact he had on our family is a daunting task. However, I hope the few words that I share today convey the love we all have for him. Papa possessed a quiet strength and energy that filled every corner of any room he walked into with warmth and reassurance. His presence lingered long after he walked out, leaving a mark on all who were fortunate enough to know him. The void he leaves behind is immense, and its weight will be felt by each and every one of us for a lifetime. His dedication to our family was unwavering. Papa made it his mission to ensure that every need, no matter how small, was met with meticulous care. From the tiniest detail to the grandest gesture, he showered us with love and provided unwavering support. From the moment each of his grandchildren entered this world, he adored us and guided us through the trials of childhood, adolescence, and into adulthood with patience and affection. Papa's values have become an integral part of our identity. His wisdom, his kindness, his unwavering integrity are qualities that will continue to inspire and guide us as we navigate the complexities of life going forward. For me, Papa's legacy takes on a tangible form in one of the gifts he once bestowed upon me, his camera. With infinite patience and enthusiasm, he created and nurtured a love for photography and photographs, imparting his incredible knowledge and skill. Through his lens, he captured the essence of our lives, preserving moments of joy, sorrow, and everything in between. His photographs have given me an open door to relive life's most precious moments, offering solace and connection, and I will treasure these forever. Papa's influence will forever color the canvas of our lives. His spirit will live on in the memories we hold dear and the values that we cherish. Papa, you will be dearly missed, but your love and legacy will endure for generations to come. I love you. Om Namah Shivaya.
Thank you, Kivoli. That was also so beautiful. I think it's a testimony to the quality of the man and the uniqueness of the man that he could inspire such tributes from his grandchildren. And to all three of you, I know that your Papa will be very proud of you today. And I know as well that he'll also be looking down on you and guiding you and blessing you. Dear friends, we are pleased to have with us today an individual who actually needs no introduction to the community of Pietermaritzburg, indeed to our national community. And he's always been an activist of note, and he's always been committed to the cause of human rights and human dignity. And we are especially pleased that he's here today because he and my Uncle Shan go back a long way and have always held each other in very high esteem. He's a former national minister, and he's currently a member of the NEC and a member of parliament as well. So I would like to call upon Mr. Yunus Karim to pay tribute to his friend and comrade, Shan Pillay.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Let me start, obviously, with expressing my deepest condolences to Nilendran, Prida, the grandchildren, and even the great-grandchild, who might not appreciate their great-grandfather today, but no doubt in a few months' time, if not later, will get to know the heritage from which they come. We have this cliche, this thing that we say all the time. Somebody passes on and we say, you're not just a loss to your family, your immediate and extended family, but a loss to the community. So it's a cliche. It's something we say all the time. But in this case, in this very special case, it's absolutely true. I am very pleased and honored to be here. Honored, actually. When I told Nilendran that I have to go to Cape Town, I'm just coming in quickly for the funeral, he said, no, please say a few words. And he's thanking me for being here. No. It's my gratitude to you for asking me to speak. And I'm really, really honored. You know, you get invited to speak for every other comrade that passes on. Half the time, you say things about people that you're not absolutely sure you should be saying. But in this case, it's a clear-cut case. Who doesn't know Shan Pillay of my generation and the generation before me? He was an institution, a pillar of the community. Not just him, but his twin, the camera. There he was, always, you know, the thing, Mr. Raj Gopal, is I really regret, let me be honest, that because of the elections and a multitude of other issues, I haven't had time to craft a proper tribute to him. They scattered notes. And I didn't even get round to printing it. And I'm not very good with a cell phone, so you'll have to bear with me. It switches off and on. So I want to say this, that it wasn't just his camera. It wasn't just Uncle Shan, but his camera that became an integral part of the community. Uncle Shan was the ever-present, everywhere photographer at community, political, social, cultural, religious, and other functions. But he never asserted himself. He was always there, but always in the background, quietly clicking away. I rarely saw him without his camera, Nilendran. It was his constant companion. You sometimes wondered whether he went to bed with it, and where was the camera when he was having a bath or a shower? I wondered also whether your mother wasn't jealous of the camera. For being a photojournalist for him wasn't just a job, not a vocation. It was him being himself. It was his life. And he found himself through a long journey, quite distant from where he started. He came from a very poor family, as you heard, and like so many at the time, had to leave school at a very young age to support his family. And like so many others in the Indian community at that time, he found himself in the leather industry. And of course, he worked at the famous Edel's shoe factory. Nilendran tells me that when he started working at Edel's, he was a clicker and couldn't reach the machine, so he had to stand on a crate to do so. But he moved very far from that soon. He moved firstly to Jaguar shoes in 1965, as you must have read in the witness. His leadership skills were obviously recognized, and at a very young age, 25, just think of the time, right? This is the 60s now. A person of color, of Indian descent. At 25, he becomes the director of production. The first black person, the first person of color to become that in a position that was never occupied in a white-owned company by a person of color. And just remember, he had very limited formal schooling, unlike our generation and the generation that's come after us, which shows you the quality of the person. But being in the leather industry, he was restless. It's not what he wanted to be most. In fact, from an early age, he was very drawn to photography and journalism, partly, it seems, inspired by his brother. And so he finally got his break in 1957. He worked for the famous Golden City Post. Also, you know, he's been in the Natal Witness, the Daily News, the Sunday Times Extra, the Graphic, which is now no more in circulation, publication in Durban. And he wrote a regular column. And I first met him, I think, in the early 70s through Uncle Bobby of Empire Watchmakers in the table tennis fraternity. And I think also they had in common their interest in promoting the Tamil language, culture, art, and so on. Uncle Bobby and I became very, very close. And of course, Shan Pillay was a very top table tennis player in the city and at some stage even quite high in the national rankings. And so it is that he got, of course, you would have seen in the witness, a doctorate of letters by the International Tamil University in Maryland in the United States, which was given to him in Madurai in South India. At the time when I first met him, and even more subsequently, I think he was one of the most famous people in the Indian community, actually. Everybody knew him. He was just always there. And I can't recall, as I said earlier, him being there without his camera. It is not an exaggeration to say that he was the most well-known person in the Indian community at that time. I don't know him as well as others of you here do. But somehow he was there in different moments of my life. I remember him gently complimenting me for winning a high school speech contest and also for administering table tennis. I was secretary of the table tennis union here when Uncle Bobby Naidu of the Empire Watchmakers was the chairperson. And I remember shortly after becoming a member of parliament in 1994, he saw me somewhere and he complimented me. But he spoke to me almost as if, which surprised me a bit, a sense of pride in me, as if I belonged to his family. And that made me feel good. He made me feel as if I always knew you'd be a member of parliament. And there it is now. So it is that I feel quite relieved, Lendran, brother. He approached me about 2 years ago on a constituency matter that I think your family will know. But it was a very complicated matter because it went through a certain high commission. So there's not much I could do. But last week, I was in Johannesburg, and I decided to sit next to the minister concerned. And I said to him, listen, I am exiting Parliament on midnight, the 28th of May. There is only one outstanding matter, constituency matter. A constituency matter is when a citizen comes to your office or rings you and says, I've got a problem, please help me. And I said, look, this is a very senior citizen of our town. He's a veteran of the democratic movement. And his grandson has got an issue, and I really need you to help me. Now, I don't know what image you have of the minister concerned, but he's a very easygoing. He says, okay, Yunus, what's the problem? Just send it to my WhatsApp. And I have been trying to contact your father for about 2.5 weeks. When my PA pointed out to me there's this one matter, I said, no, I'm aware of it. And I couldn't get hold of him. Normally, he replies immediately on the WhatsApp. So I contacted Babu Beju and said, I can't reach Shan. Is there another number you can give me? And he said, oh, no, Shan is actually in hospital. It's quite serious. And then he gave me, I think, Divine or Devon Shoes. I rang that landline number, nobody answered. What I hadn't noticed was he had sent me your number a few messages below. So I didn't get to phone you, just to wish you and your family well and convey that to your father if you could. But, excuse me, Babu contacted me, I think on Monday, very soon after your father passed on, to say that he had passed on. But what is interesting, the night before at about 9:20 p.m., I sent all the documents to the minister, both on his WhatsApp and his email, and I also sent it to his Director General. And what I told the person concerned in your family is that even though I'm not a member of parliament as from 36 hours ago, I will still persist with this issue. And hopefully the minister will remain the minister, but even if that doesn't happen, I'm not going to give up. I owe it to your father and to your family to do the best I can. And you have my cell number, and so does the person concerned. Within a month, if nothing happens, you WhatsApp me. And the public, I'm accountable to you. I will do everything possible to sort the matter out. Now, he was part of our movement, actually. When I mean movement, I mean the broad democratic movement. At times, he spoke to me about articles he was putting together. And he was always there with the Natal Indian Congress, A.S. Chetty, Chota Motala, and them. He was supportive of the United Democratic Front, of the African National Congress, the traditional African National Congress, let me add, not what we become now, sadly. And I must say that he didn't take any leadership role, but he was there, sympathetic, empathetic, supportive. And he wouldn't take a leadership role correctly because he's a professional. He's a photojournalist. You can't take a political role. And also because he's a humble person, as you heard today. There are other things I wanted to say, Mr. Rajgopal, but the tributes paid by the grandchildren are so powerful, so overwhelming, that there's very little I can say. And for a grandfather to say to a grandchild, It's fine. You don't want to do this honors, do something else. As long as you're happy. For a grandson to say he was my friend, that's wonderful. Wonderful. It overwhelms anything I could say. But there are some things that are lessons to our community that I need to just comment on as I draw to a close. You see, while education is important, what is even more important are the values you have, the values that you instill in your children and grandchildren. And Uncle Shan is a classic example of that. He didn't have a university degree or anything, but he achieved far more than most of us who do. He instilled in his children and grandchildren those values, so they are also aware that you don't just serve your own personal material interest. You're a human being through others, Ubuntu, as we say in this part of the world. And that, for me, is more important than the qualifications a person has. He was very driven, obviously, very determined, very energetic. Even after he lost his wife, your parents and your grandparents, he didn't give up. He continued with energy. Obviously, he would have been broken, but he continued with energy and enthusiasm. And at one stage, I gather, he ran 3 shoe factories and continued his work. That's remarkable for a man of his age. Obviously, he covered pivotal moments, important moments of our struggle. And the most famous one, obviously, is that he took photographs at the 1961 conference, the All Africa Conference, the last one that Nelson Mandela made publicly before he got detained and disappeared into the underground and then got detained. Yusuf Bamji, who's here, I think I see him somewhere, who also obviously extends his sincerest condolences, a veteran community activist and politician and so on, told me that your father once said to him, it's a lovely story, that he couldn't get into the Arya Samaj hall there for the conference that Mandela was addressing. It had been moved from somewhere else to a smaller Arya Samaj hall. So there were too many people there, and he was already on the run. The police were looking for him. So Yusuf tells me he couldn't get into the hall. And it's very enterprising, suppose typically him. He came through a window or a ceiling, or you might know the story better. And Yusuf thinks, he can't recall the whole story, that when they dropped into the hall, they ended up on the stage. But anyway, I don't know that Yusuf tells us, just be cautious about what you say. But that's as I remember it. But even if that's not exactly true, it's credible, eh? It's exactly what would happen. Oh, he's here today. Oh, yeah. Well, wonderful. Okay. So this again and again is a lesson that, you know what? It doesn't matter what quality of education you have and what your degrees are. It's what you are made of. He became what he became because of who he was, you know. And Ranjiv Dirgan says this. You know, I think it captures it very well in yesterday's witness. That he was an ocean of knowledge, says Ranjiv, and a library of experience, whose passing shall leave a void in our community that no other will be able to fill. He captures vividly what I was wanting to say, so I won't repeat that. The other thing I should say about him, finally, as I draw to a close, I know I was given 15 minutes, but politicians, you know, we are notorious for never observing time, right? But by that standards, I think I've reached about 15 minutes, and I just want a minute more, Chairperson. I want to say that we all know he had a quiet, pleasant smile and easy manner. He wasn't like most photojournalists who are very pushy. And in simply being who he was most successful, far more than most. Through his camera, he brought alive people and events. He gave them perpetual meaning. They etched in history. He was recording that history. I really think Nilendran and Prida, and grandchildren in particular, somebody needs to put a book together. Mr. Rajgopal, somebody needs to put a book together It's being work in progress. Very good. Yeah, that book must come out of all his photographs and some of his more important articles. Here's Nalini walking in now. She's a journalist, a colleague of Uncle Shan, and maybe we could persuade her to contribute as well. I'm talking about Uncle Shan's photographs being put in a book, Nalini, and it's being done actually. He was not selfish or mean. He wasn't threatened by others. He shared his knowledge and experiences with all the emerging photographers and journalists. But with all of that, and with all my teasing about his love of his camera, he was a family man. And I don't want to say anything more because the family itself has so evocatively, so powerfully described him. But his camera is a history. It's a museum. And the camera itself has been given away to a grandchild. But as a politician, hopefully one day, speaking on behalf of the community, that camera will be, it could be passed on from generation to, but something about a replica of the camera should be somewhere in a library. And I think all his photographs, apart from the book that's hopefully coming together, should be put in a library. And I think what he'll convey, especially to the young, is that life was never easy for your grandparents and maybe even for your parents. Not just the racial discrimination they suffered, but the poverty they endured. Too many young people take for advantage what we have now. But Shan Pillay and his generation were formidable for overcoming all the obstacles they have. And so it is that I think, but before I do, I have explained to Leonard, and I say to the family, I have a flight. I have to go to Cape Town today to empty my offices. I'm one of the only people who hasn't emptied the office to be refurbished. The Parliament saying, please, you have to do it by Friday morning. So I have to leave this afternoon. In fact, just shortly after midday. So I can't unfortunately be here. Please, it's not rude. I would love to have stayed. It's really important to be here with him. What I also like, I want to say, is the multicultural, multi-religious family he's got. His concentration was understandably on Tamil history, culture, language. But his family is a mixed family. If you look at the audience here, it goes beyond religion. It goes beyond race. And that is a tribute to him once again. So I want to say again, as I've done at Uncle Bobby's funeral here, and as I did when we had to say farewell to AC Nika, you see, it's people like these who should be recognized, not big mouths like me. We politicians, we greet at talking. As you know, what do we deliver? But people like Shan Pillay, people like Uncle Bobby, people like AC Nika, they do far more for the poor and disadvantaged in their own quiet ways than big mouths like me. And they should be honored. They should be given civic honors. Personally, and I think Yusuf Bamji agrees with me, I see David Gengan there. Is that David? Yeah, and others. Babu Beju, if he's here. We are going to, over the next few years, now that I'm not in Parliament full time, although I've got a whole lot of other commitments, by the beginning of next year, we're going to push, together with people like the Shlope family in Etondale, the Imtsimang family, they should be given civic honors. They need to be acknowledged for the huge contribution. And as I said, in his own little way, he was very much a part of my life. Not in a physical sense so much, we didn't meet that much, especially since '94, but in an emotional, psychological, and most importantly, moral sense. In this time, as the country's moral fabric frays, as we lose our moral compass, people like Shan Pillay are more important. And may his spirit live forever. Thank you.
May I say, Mr. Karim, thank you so much for that very articulate and very eloquent tribute. I think you captured the persona of that legend called Shan Pillay perfectly. And you're so right when you say He was a household name at the time because he was. And you also so right when you said that his friend was his camera. And with apologies to his other good friends, I think his best friend was his camera. And for the rest of you in the hall, if you come to his house, you'll see an explosion of photographs, all showing his grandchildren. So thank you so much for that. I'd like to hand over to our service group, Guru Munyan and partner, for a brief interlude. And Guru, I would like to just salute you. I'll be failing my duty if I don't salute you for the truly wonderful bhajans that you're providing for us. You're really uplifting and supporting the family as well. Thank you so much.
Narayana Hari Narayana Govinda Gopala Dasarat Nandana Rama Daya Sagara Dasarat Nandana Rama Daya Sagara Raghukula Tilaga Rama Satya Sai Tirupanda Raghukula Tilaga Rama Satya Sai Tirupanda Dasarat Nandana Rama Daya Sagara Dasarat Nandana Rama Daya Sagara Rama Agalyodarak Rama Sapa Vimochana Rama Agalyodarak Rama Sapa Vimochana Rama Shirdi Puri Sarama Uttaparthi Puri Parandama Shirdi Puri Sarama Uttaparthi Puri Parandama Dasarat Nandana Rama Daya Sagara Rama Dasarat Nandana Rama Daya Sagara Rama Raghukula Tilaga Rama Satya Sai Tirupandama Raghukula Tilaga Rama Satya Sai Tirupandama Dasarat Nandana Rama Daya Sagara Rama Agalyodarak Rama Sapa Vimochana Rama Agalyodarak Rama Sapa Vimochana Rama Shirdi Puri Sarama Uttaparthi Puri Parandama Shirdi Puri Sarama Uttaparthi Puri Parandama Dasarat Nandana Rama Daya Sagara Rama திருச்சிற்றம்பலம் தருவே நம்மதே சிவபுராணத்தை நானும் போதிட வரவே மனம் நம்மது. திருச்சுற்றம்பலம் தருவே நம்மதே. சிவபுராணத்தை நானும் போதிட வரவே மனம் நம்மதே. நமச்சிவாய வாழ்க நாதன் தான் தாழ்வாழ்க. நமச்சிவாய வாழ்க நாதன் தான் தாழ்வாழ்க. இமை பொருளும் என்றென்று நீங்காதான் தாழ்வாழ்க. நமச்சிவாய வாழ்க நாதன் தான் தாழ்வாழ்க. இமை பொருளும் என்றென்று நீங்காதான் தாழ்வாழ்க. போகரியான குருமணி தாழ்வாழ்க. ஆகமுமணிந்தும் அணைப்பள் தாழ்வாழ்க. ஏகன் அநேகன் இறைவன் அடிவாழ்க. நமச்சிவாய வாழ்க நாதன் தான் தாழ்வாழ்க. இமை பொருளும் என்றென்றும் நீங்காதான் தாழ்வாழ்க. வேகம் கெடு தாண்ட வேதன் அடிகள். வேகம் கெடு தாண்ட வேதன் அடிகள். பறக்கம் பின்னிய கண்ட பேகழல். வேகம் கெட தாண்ட வேதன் அடிகள். பறக்கம் பின்னிய கண்ட பேகழல் வெல்க. போன தனுடைய தேமொழியும் கடல்கள் வெல்க. கரபுரிவாய் ஊர் மகளும் பூங்கடல்கள் வெல்க. சீரல் பேரல் தோறின சிவபோகன். நமச்சிவாய வாழ்க நாதன் தான் தாழ்வாழ்க. இமை பொருளும் என்றென்றும் நீங்காதான் தாழ்வாழ்க. ஈசனடி போற்றி எல்லையடி போற்றி. ஈசனடி போற்றி எல்லையடி போற்றி. சிவன் சேவடி போற்றி நம் தேவனடி போற்றி. மாயா பிறப்பனும் மன்னனடி போற்றி. தோறினும் தேவனடி போற்றி. நமச்சிவாய வாழ்க நாதன் தான் தாழ்வாழ்க. இமை பொருளும் என்றென்றும் நீங்காதான் தாழ்வாழ்க. பொருளாகி பூர்வமாகி பரமாகி வரமாகி. பொருளாகி பூர்வமாகி மரமாகி வரமாகி. பல்விருமாகி பரவியாகி பாம்பாகி. பொருளாகி பூர்வமாகி மரமாகி வரமாகி. பல்விருமாகி பரவியாகி பாம்பாகி. கல்லாகி மனிதராகி பேயான் கடந்தராகி. வளர் சுடராகி முனிவராகி தேவராகி. செல்லாரணென்றும் சிவபூரணி. நமச்சிவாய வாழ்க நாதன் தான் தாழ்வாழ்க. இமை பொருளும் என்றென்றும் நீங்காதான் தாழ்வாழ்க. நமச்சிவாய வாழ்க.
நாதல் தாழ் வாழ்க. அருணாச்சலேஸ்வராய அருணாச்சலேஸ்வராய அருண சிவாய. உனக்கேழும் மரசாலம் ஒரு மந்திரம் ஓம் நம சிவாய மந்திரம். உனக்கேழும் மரசாலம் ஒரு மந்திரம் ஓம் நம சிவாய மந்திரம். ரமணாசிரமம் கழுது குரு மந்திரம். ரமணாசிரமம் கழுது குரு மந்திரம். அது அருணாச்சலாயன் அருள் மந்திரம். அருணாச்சலாயன் அருள் மந்திரம். அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருண சிவா. அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருண சிவா. உனக்கேழும் மரசாலம் ஒரு மந்திரம் ஓம் நம சிவாய எனும் மந்திரம். ஞான யோகியர் ஜபமந்திரம் அருபத்து மூவருக்கு அது மந்திரம். ஓம் நம சிவாய. ஓம் நம சிவாய. அவன் ஞான யோகியர் ஜபமந்திரம் அது மந்திரம். திருநீரைக்கின்ற இடமேகிலும் உடனோடி வருகின்ற சிவமந்திரம். தாயாகி நாமி காட்டும் குரு மந்திரம். தாயாகி நாமி காட்டும் குரு மந்திரம். அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருண சிவா. அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருண சிவா. உனக்கேழும் மரசாலம் ஒரு மந்திரம் ஓம் நம சிவாய மந்திரம். ஞான யோகியர் ஜபமந்திரம் அறுபத்து மூவத்து அது மந்திரம். மீறி மாற்றியர் கூட்டும் தவ மந்திரம். அருணாச்சலாய மந்திரம் வரம் கோடி தருகின்ற பஞ்சாட்சரம் கோடி தருகின்ற பஞ்சாட்சரம் அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருண சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருண சிவ உனக்கேணும் அரசா ஓம் மந்திரம் ஓம் நம சிவாய எனும் திருமந்திரம். தாரேனோ 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 உள்ளக்கமலத்திலே முருகா உனக்கு ஊன்றெழுத்தே உள்ளக்கமலத்திலே முருகா உனக்கு ஊன்றெழுத்தே பள்ளியுடன் வருவாய் முருகா மேலநாடிடுவே முருகா வள்ளியுடன் வருவாய் முருகா மேலநாடிடுவே அப்பா என்னப்பா 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 வெற்றிவடி வேலும் மாயேலும் வேதனை தீர்த்துடையா வெற்றிவடி வேலும் மாயேலும் வேதனை தீர்த்துடையா பற்றினி பாதமான அடிமேயன் பாவங்கள் போனதையா முருகா பற்றி பாதமான அடிமேயன் பாவங்கள் போனதையா என்னப்பா 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 பன்னிரு தோன்களிலும் உனக்கு பாமலை சூற்றிடுவே பன்னிரு தோன்களிலும் உனக்கு பாமலை சூற்றிடுவே என்னிரு கண்மணியே என்னப்பா என்னிரு வந்திடப்பா என்னப்பா என்னிரு கண்மணியே என்னப்பா என்னிரு வந்திடப்பா என்னப்பா 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 உள்ளக்கமலத்திலே என்னப்பா உனக்கு முன்னிறுத்தே பள்ளியுடன் வருவாய் முருகா மேலநாடிடுவே என்னப்பா 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 தோகை மயில் மேல் சுகநடமாடும் முருகா முருகா கனதா முருகா திருக்கார்த்திகேயன் முருகா மோகம் கொண்டேன் முருகா மோகம் கொண்டேன் முருகா எனக்கு அருள்வாய் முத்துக்குமாராயோகா நான் உன்மேல் மோகம் கொண்டேன் முருகா எனக்கு அருள்வாய் முத்துக்குமாராயோகா நான் உன்மேல் மோகம் கொண்டேன் முருகா முருகா ஓகை மயில் மேலே முருகா 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 ஓகை மயில் மேலே சுகநடமாடும் ஓகை மயில் மேலே சுகநடமாடும் பூஜையில் பரிதாபம் ஓகை மயில் மேலே சுகநடமாடும் பூஜையில் பரிதாபம் பெரிதல்லவோ பூஜையில் பரிதாபம் பெரிதல்லவோ மோகம் கொண்டேன் முருகா எனக்கு அருள்வாய் முத்துக்குமாராயோகா நான் உன்மேல் மோகம் கொண்டேன் முருகா முருகா பன்னெடு நாளாய் நான் படம் பாடு பன்னெடு நாளாய் நான் படம் பாடு பதியேறையோ விதிலன்னமோடு படியேறையோ விதிலன்னமோடு உன்னருளால் மயக்கம் முருகா 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 உன்னருளால் மயக்கம் முழு உயிரே உன்னருளால் மயக்கம் முழு உயிரே ஒரு ஞான தமிழ் மேல் சொரவணதா ஒரு ஞான தமிழ் மேல் சொரவணதா மோகம் கொண்டேன் முருகா எனக்கு அருள்வாய் முத்துக்குமாராயோகா நான் உன்மேல் மோகம் கொண்டேன் முருகா
Dear family and friends, we are honored today to also have in our midst one of Uncle Shan's closest and dearest friends. And the relationship literally spans over 60 years, when she was an intrepid journalist and an activist. And Uncle Shan was also a very talented photographer and a reporter. And together they made an absolutely formidable team. And I'm sure this very distinguished young lady is going to share some of those memories with you just now. She was also a very beloved and much respected member of the Pillay family. Such was their closeness to all of them. And I know she always took a personal interest in every member of the Pillay family. In fact, Uncle Shan would often share some of the queries that you, Krina, actually had about the entire family. So we value that and appreciate that as well. So it's my honor to call upon Ms. Krina Alcock to address you.
My name's Krina Alcock, and I'm not used to public speaking. I live in a tribal area, Singa, and I come to town once or twice a year and avoid it if possible. I first met Shan when I was 18, and I'm now 82. And when I met him, I was a journalist on the Daily News, and I'd just been transferred from a newspaper in what is now Zimbabwe to the Pietermaritzburg Bureau office. In those days, women weren't allowed to do news. We did social, we covered no news. And Maritzburg was the most wonderful place for me because a woman was allowed to do Supreme Court, provincial, and police call, and I did police call. I hardly knew Shan. He dropped in now and again to give stories to the other members of staff. In those days, someone like write for a white newspaper. He used to bring his stories out of interest because he was a born newsman. it wasn't a success. People were intimidated. But Shan and I, every year, this year as well, would remember his wedding day. We would remember the 25th of March, the Mandela meeting, and we'd remember these 3 days at the end of May when we hoped that things were going to change, not knowing how far away the change lay. And we've been friends ever since. And the other day we remembered was also Gwen's birthday, and she hasn't really been mentioned today, but Shan courted Gwen for 7 years before he married her. And she was the most wonderful, wonderful woman. And her birthday was the 17th of April. And last April 17th, Nellen and Shermala and Shagan were in Mauritius remembering her at a temple, and all the other family were remembering her here, and I was remembering her at my home in a tribal area. What I'm going to miss terribly is Shan used to send me a prayer every evening and a prayer every morning to welcome the day. And in between, there'd also be chats. I should explain, I have no phone signal where I live, neither in my home nor in my workplace. So to pick up messages, I'd have to go to another building, which I'd pick up messages twice a day. And there was always a message from Shan to cheer me up and to give me strength. And the most wonderful pictures of his grandchildren, whom I'm in a way meeting for the first time today, but I know who they are and I know lots about them because that was part of our conversation. And suddenly, the last 2 weeks, there've been no messages. And I just think, how am I going to stay in touch? And I don't know, 63 years is a long time to have been friends, and I'm going to miss Shan terribly. I'm going to miss Shan terribly. But he's been part of the richness of my life and his family. And I'm so grateful that I've been allowed to share the richness with the Pillays. Thank you.
Thank you, dear Krina, for sharing such beautiful and precious memories. I can tell you something that you will already know, and that is that Uncle Shan valued you tremendously. And I think you and him were comrades in every sense of the word. And that's something I think you will also treasure as you go forward. Ladies and gentlemen, we also have present today a young woman who has made huge strides in the field of journalism. And she's currently the editor of the Natal Witness. I'm not sure if Shan Pillay is here. I call upon Shan Pillay to deliver a brief message on behalf of the Natal Witness.
Good morning. This is actually a tribute to Uncle Shan by the CEO of the Witness, Ricardo Jacobs. I'll be reading it on behalf of him. It is with profound sadness that we mark the passing of a true legend, Shan Pillay, fondly known as Uncle Shan. He was a renowned journalist, photographer, Tamil cultural expert, goodwill ambassador, and humanitarian. Shan's vitality was truly remarkable. His exuberant energy and eagerness made many believe he was at least a decade and a half younger than his age of 88. Many would react with stunned belief when he revealed this remarkable fact. I cannot pinpoint when I first met Shan, but he inspired me from early in my career at The Witness, consistently providing leads and photo opportunities. It was only later that many of us fully appreciated what a towering figure he was. Shan did not flaunt his stature. Understanding him and his significance was a gradual process, purely because of his humble nature. He would bring the most remarkable stories and photos, prompting us to ask, Shan, how did you get this? How do you know this? Only then, by probing and prompting, would we realize the significant, learned, and respected figure he was, both locally and internationally, where he had cultivated an extensive network of colleagues, dignitaries, Bollywood stars, and cultural experts. On November 2nd, 2021, Shan sent me a short message. Please send me your personal email ID. I want to send you some of the articles I wrote when you were still in school. What followed was truly astounding. In the mid-70s, Shan was tracking down fugitive fraudsters in India, interviewing the who's who, including an interview with Amitabh Bachchan and Rekha about their alleged love affair in Delhi, and with Sunil Gavaskar, the legendary Indian cricket captain. My reply was, remarkable, Shan. I am really so honored and proud to have an accomplished stalwart like you pave the way for younger journalists to make their mark. Dr. Shan Pillay was a humble man who lived a remarkable life, and we are proud to have shared many memorable moments with him. Throughout his illustrious career in journalism, he mentored many young reporters and aspiring photojournalists. No matter the social circumstance, Shan used to fondly call me boss, even often leaving me red-faced given his seniority and stature. This was the nature of the man. He was the epitome of humility. It was the greatest privilege to count Mr. Pillay as one of the stalwart staff members of both the Natal Witness and the Public Eye newspaper. He was a dear friend, mentor, and confidant. Beyond his many facets and dimensions, he undertook a vital role in society as a scribe of history, carefully documenting and acknowledging the role of key cultural figures in the community. He was an invaluable asset to our newspapers, ensuring we accurately recorded the life contributions of many important people. In my second last message to Uncle Shan, I said, thank you, Shan. The community is honored to have a person of your standing and depth safeguarding and preserving our institutional and living memory. We are privileged that you take the time and effort to do so. And then, my last message to Shan, 10 days ago, sending love and wishes for a speedy recovery, although he didn't get to read it. So, when all is said and done, if I could have said one more thing to Shan before he hung up his beloved Nikon camera for the last time, it would have been, Shan, undoubtedly you were always the boss. We are honored and privileged that you were a part of our lives. So on behalf of the staff and management of The Witness and Capital newspapers, we send our love and condolences to the Pillay family. Ricardo Jacobs. Thank you.
Thank you, Kaylin, for sharing that message, and please convey our thanks and appreciation to Ricardo and to the other members of your staff at The Witness. Ladies and gentlemen, we are coming to the end of this program of tributes to our illustrious Shan Pillay, and I think you'll see from the kind of tributes that have been paid that they really do justice to the man that he was. It is my duty to call upon Sharmana Pillay, Uncle Shan's daughter-in-law, who will deliver a special message.
Om Namo Bhagavate Shivanandaya. My humble greetings to each and every one of you assembled here today as we bid farewell to an amazing human being. Uncle Shan was an incredibly social person and shared relationships with a multitude of people from all walks of life and was able to engage meaningfully with young and old, as you've heard in all the speeches that have gone before me. I shared a special bond with Uncle Shan from the first time I met him. He welcomed me so lovingly into the family and always treated me as his own. He made a point to include me in all the dynamics of the family. He was an integral part of our lives and was fully involved in our day-to-day activities. He supported us all in our ambitions and aspirations and was immensely proud of every achievement. He always encouraged me to pursue activities that would broaden my horizon and stimulate me intellectually and spiritually. As most of you would know, Papa was very active on social media, and being an avid and professional photographer, all our pictures would go viral before we had a chance to view and Photoshop them. Papa was our two-legged newspaper. We received news about all the topical matters daily, and he kept us updated about family and friends, locally and abroad. And he took a keen interest in the well-being of so many others. Papa was very frank and had no qualms about making it known that the curry had too much salt. I still remember his comments on the first dish I prepared for the family. "Who boiled this cauliflower?" That kept me away from the kitchen for many years. But I take comfort and consolation from his last message to me a few weeks ago that the tiny beans was tops. His loss leaves a huge void in the business as well. Staff have already started missing him since he took ill. His insight and experience will be sorely missed. Papa was always concerned about our well-being and would chide us when he thought our choices were unhealthy. He recently asked me what were we going to do about Nelin's weight and wasn't impressed when I responded that that wasn't in my control. When asked what secret was there to his youthful appearance, he would gleefully remark that he was never a smoker nor consumed any alcohol. Recently, we had the opportunity to travel with him, and we were amazed at how well he traveled. He was indeed blessed and lived his life to the fullest. His zest for life, adventure, travel, and learning was second to none. Preeta is so grateful for the wonderful childhood memories and for the fact that Papa was always there for her. They shared a special bond and had similar personalities that sometimes clashed, but soon enough, all would be well. She took much joy in cooking and caring for him, and his passing leaves a massive void in her life. Nelin expresses his gratitude to Papa for being an absolute pillar of strength to him. He could always count on Papa's support, even when some of his actions and choices may have been disappointing. One such example is when he decided to quit university. Papa supported him throughout his journey and coached and nurtured him to get him to where he is today. He gave unconditional love and provided all material comforts within his means to the entire family. Nelin was overwhelmed by the stream of messages received since his passing, expressing how Papa had touched so many lives and advised and inspired scores of people. We will all miss him dearly and cannot imagine life without him, but we are comforted knowing that his spirit will always be guiding us. We are grateful to God for allowing us to spend all this time with Papa. We believe that he would have left us satisfied that all of us are now settled in our own paths and that he had done his maximum to support each of us. Nelen feels so blessed to be able to call someone of his stature his dad. We are all so proud of his accomplishments in all spheres, locally and internationally. I'm now going to be concluding with a vote of thanks. Our sincere gratitude goes out to the following: to all the service providers who assisted us today, to Guru Sada Munyan and his prayer group who traveled from Durban to perform the final prayers. Uncle Shan was always enthralled by their renditions, and it was fitting to have you perform at the send-off. To dearest Mary, the tiny little lady that's sitting somewhere in the front, who took such great care of Papa and made us all feel at ease knowing that he was in capable hands. To all the family and friends who have offered prayers, love and support in the past 2 weeks whilst Papa was ill, and for all the delicious meals that arrived so spontaneously, and to each and every one of you for honoring Papa with your presence here today. To the extended Pillay family, for your love and support always, and for keeping in touch with Papa daily. To Krina Alcock, we cannot say enough thanks for her friendship with Uncle Shan for the past 63 years, and for the keen interest and love for our family. Krina didn't mention that she doesn't only remember those special days that she did. She remembers every single one of our birthdays. She remembers our wedding anniversaries. She remembers every little thing that's happened, and she'll pass on messages as soon as she gets signal. So we are so grateful for that bond that she shared, and although we didn't see her much, we had a closeness to her that's not tangible. To the MP Yunus Karim, well, he's no longer MP from the other day, but to Yunus Karim for the message that he gave earlier on, and for rearranging his busy schedule to be with us. And I think a lot of us learned things that we might not have known about Uncle Shan. To Ricardo Jacobs, the CEO of the Natal Witness, for his love and support, and for the special friendship he shared with Papa. And to all the media personnel and people that are here in attendance today, we really cannot thank you for the role that you played in Papa's life. To Ravi and Shevi Rajgopal for always being there for us. Words cannot express our appreciation. To the staff of Divine Shoes, they've played such an integral part in Papa's life on a daily basis. Thank you for your prayers and for the relationship that you built with him over the many years. Thank you for all that you did in taking care of him. And a very special thanks to Rajan, Vincent, and Max for all that you did in transporting Papa to all his different errands and making life convenient for all of us. To Dr. A.Y.D. Musa, the chairman of the board of Midlands Hospital, for taking such good care of Papa over the many years. To all the grandchildren for stepping up when it mattered most. Papa will surely be proud of each of you. Nelen, Preetha, and I, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We pray for Lord Shiva's grace upon Papa's soul on his journey towards moksha. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Thank you, Shamara, for that beautiful tribute to Papa as well. And I know that you might not want me to mention this, but I think Papa would want me to mention it. I would just like to, on a personal note, salute you, Shamara, for being such a pillar of strength in your immediate family and the extended family, for being so compassionate and so sensitive and so caring, for being the epitome of love and thoughtfulness. It's something that we really appreciate. To move on, dear friends, the family have asked me would like your permission to respectfully and humbly share with you a video recording of a program that was aired on the SABC program called Sunday Sadhana. It was basically a profile of our Uncle Shan Pillay. And it's actually quite beautifully done. And what's remarkable about our sharing it is that you'll also get a chance to listen to him as well, because he's on that video as well, right? So without further ado, I hand over to the sound effects man.
Hari Om and humble salutations. Welcome to Sadhana, the Inward Path, this Sunday morning. We have some very interesting offerings on the program today, with a feature on Shan Pillay from Pietermaritzburg and another on the Chinmaya Mission in Cape Town. Then there's more conscious cooking with Anuradha, yoga for wellness with Kugan, and Lokeshji enlightens our spirit with the Ramayan. Veteran photojournalist Shan Pillay is a familiar face in Pietermaritzburg's social and political circles. He was one of the last journalists to photograph former President Nelson Mandela before his incarceration in 1962. Shan Pillay is also a proud promoter of the Tamil language and was conferred with an honorary doctorate from the International Tamil University in Maryland, USA. We met the 82-year-old recently and were astounded by his ever-youthful presence.
I was 15-year-old when I had to forcibly start work. And I worked at a shoe factory called Sandals, which was part of Edel's shoe factory. And then over the years, I, of my own initiative, started progressing in the shoe factory. And eventually I started work for Jaguar Shoes, which employed about 1,500 people. And we used to make 12,000 pairs of shoes a day. I was general manager of that factory before becoming production director. And I spent 31 years in that factory. And eventually in 1994, I thought it was time that, since I have only shoes in my veins and blood, I started my own little CMT operation in which you make uppers for the bigger factories. In the old days, you know, when major papers existed in Durban, Maritzburg was non-existent because they didn't cover Maritzburg, and I felt Maritzburg was missing out, and I said I should go out there and put Maritzburg on the map. And what I did was to go around in my own time, in the weekends or after hours, and pick up tidbits of news, submit it to the daily and weekly newspapers. And over the years, there was a Mr. Stan Eldridge, the editor, Stan Horning, a sub-editor, and Ronnie Moon, another sub-editor, who nurtured me and gave me every support and built me up. And eventually, the Witness ran a column in which I used to write Indian, African, and colored news, my own column. In 1961, All in Africa conference, in which, or at which, 1,400 delegates from all over Africa attended. And The conference was supposed to be held at the YMCA hall. And somebody said, you know, the YMCA hall is bugged. And somebody contacted the Prasila Arya Samaj officials, of which Mr. Dasarath Bandhu, an activist in his own right, was the secretary. And he had agreed. It was Ramnavami celebrations that night, and he had agreed to give the hall for the conference, together with a senior reporter from the Daily News, who was at that time Krina Bond and later became Krina Alcock. We both got a front seat in the hall. A little while later, somebody whispered and said, hey, you know what? I think Mr. Mandela is going to be here tonight. And I think he's at Dr. Sililo's place in New Scotland Road. So I told my friend, she had a car, and we rushed to this New Scotland Road. And when we got there, it was seating with special branch, police, and everybody else, but there was no Mr. Mandela. So we decided to get back to the hall. And when we got back to the hall, we couldn't get in because imagine 1,400 delegates besides the locals, and the hall only held 400 people. I went around the back of the hall and there was a window open. So I pushed my friend up through the window and she pulled me in. And when we got inside, everybody started clapping because they thought we were part of the contingent from Johannesburg. And we got a rousing welcome, applause. Just after midnight, here was this burly figure, bearded figure, who was Nelson Mandela. And he made a demand that there should be nothing less for a democratic South Africa than a one man, one vote. Mandela was a banned person. And at midnight, his band would have been unbanned. But then when he finished his talk that night, he had to slowly escape because at 6 o'clock in the morning, you could be banned again. And what excuse to get away. There was somebody in the crowd that got the fits, epilepsy, and everybody, including the special branch, went to help him. And when they calmed him down, they later found that was just a hoax because it allowed Mandela to slowly get out, and he was gone. In 1999, he was accorded the freedom of Pietermaritzburg, freedom of the city of Pietermaritzburg. And somebody, I think it was Mr. Rob Haswell, who was on the city council then, who remembered that I was one that was there that night for the conference. And I was invited by the organizers to share my experience of that historic night with President Mandela himself. I found him to be a warm and a calm individual.
That was so special and so amazing. They say that audio can tell a story that will normally require 10,000 words, and it speaks for itself. I wonder if I could ask you, because we can feel his presence in his absence, to maybe give Uncle Shan a round of applause in his absence, because I think he deserves it in terms of his contribution to everything he's done. We have a special request from one of Uncle Shan's nieces from Durban. Her name is Nirmala Govender, very, very close to the family as well. And she's asked to actually render 2 bhajans as an offering of love and respect to Uncle Shan. So I call upon Nirmala.
Chora Yashoda ki bha Navneet chora Gopal Chit chora Yashoda ki bha Navneet chora Gopal Chit chora Yashoda ki bha Navneet chora Gopal Chora Yashoda ki bhaan Navneet chora Gopal Chit chora Yashoda ki bhaan Navneet chora Gopal Gopal Chora Yashoda ki bhaan Navneet chora dedicate the next song to Lord Buddha, who was a Tamil Bhakti of Lord Buddha. So this song I will share this with you. Muruga unakku pugal maali சூட்டுவதே தினம் முதல் வேலி கந்தாவும் திரு வடிவேலே வணங்குகின்றே வணங்குகிறானே அதிகாலே. முருகா உனக்கு புகழ் மாலை சூடுவதே தினம் முதல் வேலை. கந்தாவும் திருவடிவேலே வணங்குகிறதானே அதிகாலே. முருகா உனக்கு புகழ் மாலை சூடுவதே தினம் முதல் வேலை. கந்தாவும் திருவடிவேலே வணங்குகிறதானே அதிகாலே. தூவிட குழலி மலர்ந்து தேதினையோடு கனிவுண்டு. தூவிட குழலி மலர்ந்து தேதினையோடு கனிவுண்டு. பாட்டுக்கள் வைத்திடும் மனம் உண்டு பூஜையை பாடி வந்து. முருகா உனக்கு புகழ் மாலை சூடுவதே தினம் முதல் வேலை. கந்தாவும் திருவடிவேலே வணங்குகிறதானே அதிகாலே. ஆளு என்பதனிதானே அணியாய் தீபம் கொண்டாடுதானே. ஆளு என்பதனிதானே அணியாய் தீபம் கொண்டாடுதானே. காலமும் துணை நீதானே கருணை புழி வந்த விழிதானே. முருகா உனக்கு புகழ் மாலை சூட்டுவதே தினம் முதல் வேலை. கந்தாவும் திரு வணங்குகிறதானே அதிகாலே. தேவியானே ஒரு புறமும் மான்மகள் வெள்ளி மறுபுறமும். தேவியானே ஒரு புறமும் மான்மகள் வெள்ளி மறுபுறமும். தோன்றிட நீ தரும் திருக்காட்சி மங்களவனது அருகாட்சி. முருகா உனக்கு புகழ் மாலை சூடுவதே தினம் முதல் வேலை. கந்தாவும் திருவடிவேலே வணங்குகிறதானே அதிகாலே. முருகா 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 முருகா.
Thank you so much, Nari. That was absolutely pure. Dear friends and family, may I just share the program for the rest of the day? For those who will be accompanying us to the crematorium, we will be leaving the hall at about 1 p.m. and the cremation will take place at the Cedar Road Crematorium in Caterage. And thereafter, the consecration and the commitment of ashes will take place at the Sivananda Ghat in Clear State Crematorium sometime later this afternoon. But a special request, an appeal, the family have asked me to humbly request of you that you partake of the meal that has been provided after the conclusion of the funeral ceremony. I think in our culture, that's also a duty on our part as well. We would like to, as I want to echo Shamala's words as well, we would like to place on record our gratitude and appreciation to relatives and friends who have so lovingly and spontaneously offered their condolences and their support through what has been a very difficult 2 weeks. And thank you for your love, and I think it's greatly appreciated. Nalan has also asked me to inform you that the 16-day ceremony will take place on the 11th of June, but further information about that will be forthcoming. Right? We will announce that information and send out the necessary messages. And finally, Ladies and gentlemen, on your behalf, I would like to express condolences to Nalan, Shamana, Preeta, and all the grandchildren and other relatives. May the Almighty grant them strength and courage during this very difficult time. It was the poet John Donne who said of death, "One short sleep past, and death shall be no more." And that, dear friends and family, is our solace and our consolation, that Uncle Shan is indeed resting in the arms of the Almighty and is indeed at peace. Thank you so much. I now hand you over to the officiating priest and to the service group.
जगत जननी सुख पाने कल्याण जगत जननी सुख पाने कल्याण जगत जननी सुख पाने कल्याण जगत जननी जगत जननी जगत जननी सुख स्वरूपिणी मतो प्रवाणी सुख स्वरूपिणी मतो प्रवाणी सुखनादर्मणं महिळुमिनाची सुखनादर्मणं महिळुमिनाची सुखपाणि कल्याणी जगत जननी जगत जननी पाण्ड्यकुमारी भवानी अम्ब शिव पंचमी परमेश्वरी पाण्ड्यकुमारी भवानी अम्ब शिव पंचमी परमेश्वरी वेणुं वरं तर इन्नुं वरं निलयो वेणुं वरं तर इन्नुं वरं निलयो वेद वेदांत नाद स्वरूपिणी वेद वेदांत नाद स्वरूपिणी जगत जननी सुखपाणि कल्याणी जगत जननी जगत जननी जगत जननी திருநீர் என்னை காக்கும் வடிவேலவா வடிவேல் எழுதல் துணையே வேல் முருகா திருநீர் என்னை காக்கும் வடிவேலவா வடிவேல் எழுதல் துணையே வேல் முருகா வடிவேல் என்னை காக்கும் வடிவேலவா நாமம் இல்லை நாடும் வேல் முருகா வடிவேல் இல்லை காணும் வடிவேலவா உந்தன் நாமம் இல்லை நாடும் வேல் முருகா ஓம் முருகா ஓம் முருகா சரவணமா வடிவேலா முருகா ஓ முருகா ஓ சரவண வடிவேலா நீர் என்னை வடிவேலவா வடிவேல் என்ற துணையே வேல்முருகா. சிவபெருமான் உந்தன் தந்தை அல்லவோ பார்வதி அம்மா தாயல்லவோ. சிவபெருமான் உந்தன் தந்தை அல்லவோ பார்வதி அம்மா தாயல்லவோ. ஸ்ரீ கணேஷ அனல்லவோ ஸ்ரீ கணேஷ அனல்லவோ. எழுந்த பாதம் எழுந்த விடை அல்லவோ ஸ்ரீ கணேஷ அனல்லவோ. எழுந்த பாதம் எழுந்த விடை அல்லவோ. ஓம் முருகா ஓம் முருகா சரவண பாவருக வடிவேலா. ஓம் முருகா ஓம் முருகா ஓம் சரவண பாவருக வடிவேலா. திருநீர் எண்ணிக்கார் வடிவேலவா வடிவேல் என்ற துணையே வேல்முருகா. கண்கள் உன்னை தேடி வடிவேலவாயங்கள் கண்ணீர் உந்தன் அபிஷேகம் வேல்முருகா. கண்கள் உன்னை தேடி வடிவேலவாயங்கள் கண்ணீர் உந்தன் அபிஷேகம் வேல்முருகா. கண்கள் உன்னை தேடி வடிவேலவா என்ற கண்ணீர் உந்தன் அபிஷேகம் வேல்முருகா. கண்கள் உன்னை தேடி வடிவேலவா என்ற கண்ணீர் உந்தன் அபிஷேகம் வேல்முருகா. ஓம் முருகா ஓம் முருகா சரவண பாவருக வடிவேலா. முருகா ஓம் முருகா ஓம் சரவண பாவருக வடிவேலா. ஓம் சரவண பாவருக வடிவேலா. ஓம் சரவண பாவருக வடிவேலா. शिव शंभो शंकरा नंद ईश्वराय शंकरा नंद ईश्वराय शिवदेवा वैतीश्वराय गंगाधर शिवनेश्वर शिवदेवा वैतीश्वराय गंगाधर शिवनेश्वर शिवमंगल विश्वेश्वराय शिवमङ्गल विश्वेश्वराय शिवया 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 ईश्वराय शिवया 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 ईश्वराय शिवया महेश्वराय शिवया महेश्वराय शिवया महेश्वराय शिवया महेश्वराय शिवया महेश्वराय शिवया महेश्वराय शिव शम्भो शङ्करानन्द ईश्वराय शिव शम्भो शङ्करानन्द ईश्वराय शिवदेव वैतीश्वराय गङ्गाधर शिवनेश्वर शिवदेव वैतीश्वराय गङ्गाधर शिवनेश्वर शिवमङ्गल विश्वेश्वराय शिवमङ्गल विश्वेश्वराय शिवया 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 ईश्वराय शिवया 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 ईश्वराय शिवया महेश्वराय शिवया महेश्वराय शिवया महेश्वराय शिवया महेश्वराय शिव शम्भो शङ्करानन्द ईश्वराय கங்கை அணிந்தவா கண்டோ துரும்பினாச சதங்கையாண்டும் பாதவினோத லிங்கேஸ்வரா நின்தா துணை இல்லையம்பள நடராஜா திருமிநாதனே பரமேச இல்லையம்பள நடராஜா திருமிநாதனே பரமேச அல்லல் தீர்த்தாண்டவா பவாமி தாண்டவா தீர்த்தாண்டவா அமிதாண்டவா இல்லையம்பள நடராஜா திருமிநாதனே பரமேச இல்லையம்பள நடராஜா திருமிநாதனே பரமேச எங்கும் எங்கும் விளங்குமே அருள்மாப்பதே எங்கும் எங்கும் விளங்கவே அருள்மாப்பதே எளிமையகளமடுங்காவா பழம் பொங்கவா எளிமையகளமடுங்காவா பழம் பொங்கவா தில்லியம்பள நடராஜா திருமிநாதனே பரமேச தில்லியம்பள நடராஜா திருமிநாதனே பரமேச பலவிட நாளும் கரையேனும் பனைமுடி உண்மையே துடிப்பாடும் பலவித நாளும் கரையேனும் பனைமுடி உண்மையே துடிப்பாடும் கலையலங்கானம் பாண்டியராணி மணியாண்டவா தில்லிய நடராஜா திருமிநாதனே பரமேசா அல்லல் தீர்த்தாண்டவா அமிதாண்டவா நடராஜா திருமிநாதனே பரமேசா. சோலதாரணி பரமேச சிவகமிநாயக ஜெகதீச தூக்கிய பாதம அமர கலேச தாண்டவ நடராஜ தூக்கிய பாதம அமரக்கணே சிவதோண்டவ நடராஜ சிவ விபூதி சுந்தர நீ சங்கரா ஏக்வ விலாசன சுந்தரா விபூதி சுந்தர நீ சங்கரா ஏக்வ விலாசன சுந்தர சிவகாமி மகேஸ்வரனே அம்பலத்திருமானே சிவகாமி மகேஸ்வரனே அம்பலத்திருமானே. சோலதாரணி பரமேசா சிவகமிநாயக ஜெகதீசா சோலதாரணி பரமேசா சிவகமிநாயக ஜெகதீசா தூக்கிய பாதம் அமர கலேசா தாண்டவ நடராஜா தூக்கிய பாதம் அமர கலேசா தாண்டவ நடராஜா விபூதி சுந்தரணி சங்கரா ஏக விலாசன சுந்தரா விபூதி சுந்தரணி சங்கரா ஈஸ்வ விலாசன சுந்தரா சிவகாமி மகேஸ்வரனே அம்பள பெருமானே. சோலதாரணி பரமேசா சிவகமிநாயக ஜெகதீசா சோலதாரணி பரமேசா சிவகமிநாயக ஜெகதீசா தூக்கிய பாதம் அமர கலேசா தாண்டவ நடராஜா தூக்கிய பாதம் அமர கலேசா தாண்டவ நடராஜா சிவ தாண்டவ நடராஜா சிவ தாண்டவ நடராஜா விபூதி சுந்தரே சங்கரா ஏக விலாசனம் சுந்தர சிவகாமி மகேஸ்வரனே அம்பலம் திருமால்.
Dear family and friends, kindly take note that we will be departing at 1 o'clock to the Dear family and friends, kindly take note that we we will be departing at 1 o'clock to the Cato Reach Crematorium. Those that family and friends that can join the family in the final farewell, you are most welcome. Those that haven't viewed our dear father or you wish to view our dear father again, you may please make your way to the casket before we call upon the family members to place their roses for our dear dad. சிவபெருமானே சிவபெருமானே எல்லார்க்கும் நீ தெய்வம் சிவபெருமானே 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 எல்லார்க்கும் நீ தெய்வம் சிவபெருமானே அன்னை தந்தை குரு தெய்வம் நீயே அன்னை தந்தை குரு தெய்வம் நீயே ஆண்டவனே அருள் செய்வாயே ஆண்டவனே அருள் செய்வாயே சிவபெருமானே சிவபெருமானே எல்லார்க்கும் நீ தெய்வம் சிவபெருமானே உன்னையே நாங்கள் வேண்டோமையா உன்னையே நாங்கள் வேண்டோமையா உலக தெய்வமே தேவாவா உலக தெய்வமே தேவாவா சிவபெருமானே சிவபெருமானே எல்லார்க்கும் நீ தெய்வம் சிவபெருமானே எல்லார்க்கும் நீ தெய்வம் சிவபெருமானே எல்லார்க்கும் நீ தெய்வம் சிவபெருமானே. Dear family and friends, at this note, I would like to pay a special tribute to our dear dad. We're from Durban. I am part of the Munian brothers. I'm Guru Sada Munian. Together we have a school of music, Saraswati Padasali School of Fine Arts. Some years ago, we were called to perform with the Munian brothers together with the Munian sisters to perform at a temple in Pietermaritzburg. I think it was the day before the firewalking. And our dad made all the arrangements for our group to perform in a 3-hour concert. That was many, many years ago. So there were 14 of our students that were performing in the music festival. And it was also a fundraising drive for our students to perform. The ages were between 8 and 14 years. And our dad has contributed towards those 14 children, made their dreams be realized with his financial contribution. So on behalf of the Munian brothers, the Saraswati Padasali School of Finance, we want to thank this dear dad, thank this dear family for imparting not only knowledge but also whatever they can share to uplift our culture. May the Divine Mother Saraswati grant you peace, comfort, and may our Divine Father attain moksha in Sivalokam. At that concert, he requested a special song, which was Swagatam Krishna by Pitikali Murugadas. So this is a special dedication to our dear Father.
Krishna, 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 Swagatam Krishna, Swagatam Krishna, Swagatam Krishna, 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 Swagatam Krishna, Charanagatam Krishna, Swagatam Krishna, Charanagatam Krishna, Madhura Puri Sadhana Mridu Vadana Madan Sodana Madhura Puri Sadhana Mridu Vadana Madan Sodana Ega Swagatam Krishna Charanagatam Krishna Madhura Puri Sadhana Priyovadana Madan Sodana Madhura Puri Sadhana Priyovadana Sodana Ega Swagatam Krishna 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 Kokataya Prasulabhi Krishna Krishna Kokataya Prasulabhi Supupakalaka Pasturi Tilaga Madipa Vamakandana Kasturi Tilaga Madipa Vamakandana Swagatam Krishna Charanagatam Krishna Madhura Puri Sadhana Sodana Ega Swagatam Krishna Krishna Swagatam Krishna Charanagatam Krishna Swagatam Krishna Charanagatam Krishna Madhura Puri Sadhana Priduvadana Madhusudana Madhura Puri Sadhana Priduvadana Madhusudana Ega Swagatam Krishna Madhura Puri Sadhana Priduvadana Madhusudana Madhura Puri Sadhana Priduvadana Madhusudana Krishna Krishna Prikasureka Mallavitadana Kuvalaya Krida Pushtira Asura Karura Mallavitadana Kuvalaya Krida Matana Kairanatana Mukularachana Sagalagara Deva Vishna கோடி அசபனமான தீரமுனி ரவிராணி கிருஷ்ணா தீரமுனி ரவிராணி மதுர மதுர ரவி சாதக சாதிகி மதுமுனி மானச பகரி பகரி चरणागतं कृष्णा मधुर मुनि कृष्णा कृष्णा
We'll ask the members of the family to please place the roses for our dear father.
Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Shivaya Namah. Om Namo Nadaraja. Om Namah Shivaya. Shivaya Namah. Om Namo Nadaraja. Om Namah Shivaya. Shivaya Namah. Om Namah Shivaya. Shivaya Namah. Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Om Shivaya. Pirnadai Chandi Magamardanam Pillaye Perundai Mardanam Pirnadai Chandi Magamardanam Pillaye Perundai Mardanam Kumrade Gande Uyar Mardanam Oyedi Baby Modal Mardanam Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Katranil Jagat Kalimarandanam Katranil Padu Maradanam Katranil Jagat Kalimarandanam Katranil Padu Maradanam Nattavati Vari Uli Namah Shivaya Namarave Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. நமச்சிவாய லிங்கவதார லோகசுந்தார ஓம் நம பார்வதி நம சிவாய லிங்கவதார லோகசுந்தார ஓம் நம பார்வதி நம சிவாய திருக்கடல் மூரா மாமலை வாசா மாலையுடைய அமர்ந்தே மார்க்கண்டனே ஓம் நம சிவாய ஓம் நம சிவாய நம சிவாய ஓம் நம சிவாய நம சிவாய அம்பலத்தரசி அருள்மழந்தே ஓடந்த தேனே அருள்விழந்தே அம்பலத்தரசி அருள்மழந்தே ஓடந்த தேனே அருள்விழந்தே பொது நடத்தரசி உன்னுடையனே புறவரலாம் புகழ் கண்ணியனே புறவரலாம் புகழ் கண்ணியனே அம்பலத்தரசி அருள்மறந்தே ஆனந்தத்தினே அருள்விழந்தே மலை தரும் மகளே வடமலையிலே மதிமுகம் அமுதே மதிமுகம் அமுதே அம்பலத்தரசி அருள்மறந்தே ஆனந்தத்தினே அருள்விழந்தே ஆனந்தத்தினே அருள்விழந்தே ஆனந்தத்தினே அருள்விழந்தே. கடைசியாவது முத்தி பிரார்த்தனை தயவு செய்து நீங்கள் எல்லோரும் எழுதுங்கள். will humbly ask each and every one of you to please rise. முத்தினே அறையாதே மூக்களடே உயர்வேனே பத்தினரி அறிவேற்று பரவினங்கள் சித்தமல அறிவேற்று சிவமாகி இடையாது அத்தரனே அருளியவாறு ராஜ்பேருவே நெறித்தன்னி நெறியாதே இறைவேனே சிறுநெறிகள் சேராமே திருவருளே சேருவண்ணம் புரியன்றே எல்லாதே கூட்டனைக்கு அறியும் வண்ணம் அருளியவாரே ராஜ்பேருவே செம்மை நலம் அறியாதே சிகரோடு நிறைவேனே உம்மிமளம் அறிவேற்று முதலாயே முதல்வன் நம்மியமோ பொருளாகி நான்
செய்விட்டே ஏற்றுவிட்டே அம்மியனே நருளியவாறு நாட்பேறுவாய் நச்சோவே அம்மியனே நருளியவாறு நாட்பேறுவாய் நச்சோவே அம்மியனே Govinda, Govinda, Govinda. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Shivaya Nama Om. Shivaya Nama Om. Shivaya Nama Om. Om Namah Shivaya. Shivaya Nama Om. Shivaya Nama Om. Shivaya Nama Om. Om Namah Shivaya. அருட்பெரும் ஜோதி அருட்பெரும் ஜோதி அருட்பெரும் ஜோதி அருட்பெரும் ஜோதி தனிப்பெரும் கருணை தனிப்பெரும் கருணை ஆனந்தரங்கா அருள்ராமலிங்கா தனிப்பெரும் கருணை தனிப்பெரும் கருணை ஆனந்தரங்கா அருள்ராமலிங்கா ஓம் நம சிவாய ஓம் நம சிவாய ஓம் நம சிவாய ஓம் நம சிவாய திகனிலே பொருளாய் பரனிலே பொருளாய் அகமத பொருந்திய அருட்பெரும் ஜோதி அகமத பொருந்திய அருட்பெரும் ஜோதி ஓம் கஜானனம் பூதகநாதம் சேவித்தம் கப்பித ஜம்போ பலசார பக்ஷிதம் உமாசுதம் சோக விநாஷ்காரணம் நமாமி விக்னேஸ்வர பாத பங்கஜம் அகரமணிய ஆனந்த சேவனன்மணி உகரமணிய விஷ்ணு வியாபர நித்தியமணியே மகரமணிய அகரமுனநாதம் ஓங்காரணிய துணையே அன்புமே துன்புமே துடிக்கும் துணையே என் நிரலிங்காணிய துணையே காலம் தந்த சுப்பிரமணி பிள்ளை அவர்களுக்கு அபராத்மவும் நற்கரிவும் மகாசாந்தியும் கிரியசாந்தியும் யோக சாந்தியும் தனசாந்தியும் தேவாய ஓம் கங்கா ஜமுனா கோதாவர்த்தித்தும் சமர்ப்பியாமி ஓம் கங்கா ஜமுனா கோதாவர்த்தித்தும் சமர்ப்பியாமி ஓம் கங்கா ஜமுனா கோதாவர்த்தித்தும் ஓம் கங்கா ஜமுனா கோதாவர்த்தித்தும் சமர்ப்பியாமி 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 சிவனி கதவி திறப்பாய Terrific. The sound is important.
The children. Now,
One, two. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you on the live stream, the family would like to take this opportunity and thank you for joining them, even though you couldn't be here in person. Prem, namaste, and vanakam to each and every one of you.